Late night in the office, boy.
This is episode 6 of Shed to Ed. Thiago Santos, main event, Magomed Ankalaev. Steve, up 2 from last week, up $15 year to date. How's it going on your end, Steve?
It's going okay. I always like winning weeks and getting my title rights back. Shed to Ed, as it should be.
Yeah, I had 3 missed picks. You had 2, but you were 4-2. I was 3-3.
Yeah, last week on the pay-per-view, Kobe Covington made easy work of Jorge Masvidal. People were saying that it was going to be 50-45, 50-43, 50-42, just ground and pound, easy work for Kobe. He showed out and just showed his wrestling skills big time there.
That fight you were hyping Marina Rodriguez and Zhang Anyan. That was a great fight. Stand-up bout. Marina really pushed the pressure, stole those rounds away. We had 3 split decisions last week, so, it could have gone either way. And none of my underdogs hit. I said I wanted Greg Hardy, Jorge, or Kelleher to upset, and I went 0 for 3 on the dogs.
Yeah, should have been listening to me, man.
Now, this week, who's kicking off? We got Azamat Murzaganov, and you went with Azamat this week. Any reason why?
Not yet.
Good stuff. We got Chris Moutinho, the green-haired zombie, coming off that loss to Sean O'Malley on that short notice fight. We got Miranda Maverick. She's been seeing some action lately, been in a few fights lately.
Yeah, she's showing out.
And finally, we got 2 more fights on the prelims. Jillian Robertson, JJ Aldrich, and Semmelsberger, AJ Fletcher. Semmelsberger has 2 knockouts under 20 seconds in the UFC, which is surprising. He's really got those hands, especially at 170.
Yeah, that's really showing there.
On to that main card. Alex Pereira is coming back off that knee knockout. I believe he has a win over Israel Adesanya in kickboxing.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say he only has like 5 fights in MMA.
Khalil Roundtree Jr., Carl Roberson. I'm really looking forward to this fight. We got Khalil at them pick'em odds.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Drew Dober and Terrence McKinney.
Really? That short notice return for Terrence McKinney?
Man, he's trying to fight a lot this year. I'm hoping to see a lot of them.
We got the feature bout, the co-main, and the main on the main card. All ranked fighters. This is going to be some high-level action. Super Steak, Alex Caceres, a.k.a. Bruce Leroy. I didn't want to touch this fight. I let you pick this one up.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to take about this one. I just took the heavy favorite, but hopefully you just didn't know what you're doing.
Marlon Moraes on a big fight skid. You're hot on Song Yadong. You've been watching a bit of that tape, so you went with the Song side minus 240. Moraes might be on his way out of that top 10 if he takes another L, man. He might not get his contract renewed.
Yeah, I think this is another one that they're just feeding the old guys to the young guys, letting them pass them, get the young action coming in. Song Yadong is a big flashy guy. He's going to come in round 1, and he's going to start throwing some spin kicks, head kicks. He's going to be going at it, trying to intimidate him. And he's going to be relentless. He's going to bring that pressure. And I think he's going to bring the win.
We've got Thiago Santos taking on Magomed Ankalaev. Now, if you want to take a quick look at the 205 division, Santos fought Jan Blachowicz and beat him, the last champ. Before that, he fought John Jones, and some say he beat him too. And if he can secure a win over Ankalaev, he can start facing his sights towards the winner of the next 205 championship, which is Prochazka and Glover. Until then, he's got to get through Magomed. Magomed's a heavy favorite, though, minus 450 coming in hot. You watch a little bit of tape on these guys?
I haven't watched any tape on those guys. I knew I wasn't going to take the over-under. I seen Santos last time. I kind of expected him to finish it short, or at least go balls to the wall and then get finished short. And then we weren't going to take the outcome of the fight. I never watched much of Ankalaev after because of that.
And you were first up this week because I bet. What did I bet? We did a knockout prop bet. I bet that we were going to get 5 or more TKO KOs. We did not. So Crocker's up first this week for the draft. You went with Miranda Maverick.
I went with Miranda Maverick. So I just watched a few fights from her. She's a young gun. She's showing out there. Sabina Mazo, not very old either. So this one should be a banger. Miranda Maverick, very complete fighter. History as a grappler, but you can tell that she's growing more and more confidence as a striker, and she really has the power to back it up. She got a lot of power. I look for her to finish this fight in probably round 2.
Yeah, you mentioned the power. I was going to say she's very strong for her size for that weight class. And I took Semmelsberger. Hopefully Lightning can strike a third time. He's a heavy favorite. Top of that card. Those are our first picks overall, Maverick and Semmelsberger.
Yeah, I liked Semmelsberger as well here. And that was my smelly pick. It was going to be anyways. Smelly texted me, told me that was his Smelly burger pick.
Now, last week, Tim Elliott was the big smelly pick. So you were riding high because I took the Tagir for you.
Yeah, that was huge. So, you're in good hands this week, anyways, Dev.
Good.
But
We got the
going
smell
on,
pick of the week.
going on, I have Song Yadong coming up next. I had a couple of his fights on in the background here as I'm working in the office late at night. He's a young fella as well, only 24 years old, I think. Already showing out, getting some first round knockouts, second round knockouts. Really showing out here, showing his power, showing his skills.
Now, I went with the hype train here. I skipped over the next couple. I love Caceres. Bruce Leroy is my guy, so I don't really know how I felt about that one. McKinney Dober, that's a short notice for McKinney. Like you said, 1 week, hit or miss. So I went with Bejeda. Let's ride the traditional hype train here, see if he can close the show.
Yeah, I like Pereira. He looks pretty good too. But I went back and I started cleaning up some of the top odds there. So I took Super Sodiq.
I took Matinho. Let's see if that green-haired zombie can get it done. You know, he was on Reddit doing the AMA, said he had a few months he had to take off for injuries, try to get back January to March. So this is the March time. Hopefully he had a full camp, a full training session, and he can put some experience to use and get the job done. And he's opening as a favorite. Guido does not have a great track record as of late, so maybe they're feeding him a little softball. I can only hope so. That's why I took Matinho this week.
Yeah, I was told to actually avoid him based off Smelly's advice there. So I'm hoping that Guido comes through for me.
Right on. And then you went with Murzakanov.
Yep, and this is just another one. I was cleaning up some higher odds. I wasn't sure how the Terrence McKinney Drew Dober fight was going to be, so I figured I'd take this one before moving on.
I took Damon Jackson. Damon's got a lot of experience. Camuela Kirk, I think he has like one fight in the UFC. So I think Damon's going to get it done. I think he's going to shine through with that experience, and he's going to know the right moves to make. He could probably take it to decision, score that way, or maybe keep Camuela frustrated in that first round and get his game plan going, get on that bicycle and get the job done.
Right on. So you took a guy that's not even a favorite in this. You expected me to take Camuela Kirk, or were you afraid I was going to steal Damon Jackson on you?
Honestly, these are some very tight odds. You look at JJ Aldrich at 215, Trevin at 220. These are not like blowout odds, right? Implied win probability is no better than 60%. So I took a look at their records, and I liked what I saw on Damon Jackson's side.
Yeah, anything above 1.7 is pretty much a pick 'em there.
Good stuff.
Yeah, moving on. I took Javid Basharat. I liked what I seen out of him. I didn't watch a whole lot of Javid, but I was comfortable enough to take him. And there was a lot of fights that I was trying to avoid here, and it seemed like you were trying to take all of the ones that I was trying to avoid, which worked out a little bit for me in the draft, hopefully.
Jillian Robertson, JJ Aldrich, bit of a mixed bag. Jillian has a lot of UFC experience, and she's on the favorite side, so I like watching her fight. I think she can get the job done. I went with Jillian.
Yeah, and Jillian's the only Canadian on the card here, so even though I don't have her in this fight, I'm still rooting for her, of course. I just finished actually watching Miranda Maverick versus Jillian Robertson, and that was a pretty good fight. Went 15 minutes. Two of them showed off some grappling skills. I thought it should have been maybe a split decision or at least a little bit closer than what they actually officially scored it there. But
yeah, I've seen that fight, and Maverick just looked like she's a little bit stronger than Robertson. Robertson really couldn't get her game going off. She looked a bit frustrated in the grappling exchanges.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you took Roberson over Roundtree. I was hyping Roundtree. I like Roundtree. You know, I got a little bit of stats scribbled out. Roberson's 4-4 in the UFC. Roundtree's 5-5. They're both 6'1", both at that 206-pound weight limit. What made you lean Roberson?
Well, I wasn't really sure what I was going to take with this one. I was kind of letting you take the Terrence McKinney Dober if you wanted it, and I wasn't really sure. I was kind of leaning more towards Cody Brundage there for that one, so I wasn't really going to take the underdog there. I didn't really know if the over or under of the main event was going to hit or not, so I just figured I'd take the kind of favorite in the pick'em here.
Right on. I took the main long. I think Thiago Santos has a lot of time in the cage. You know, he got his legs kicked out by John Jones and still stayed in that fight for 5 rounds. Some people argue he won that fight 1-2-5. He went the full distance with Johnny Walker. I think that Ankalaev might get the job done, but I think it's going to take him longer than 3.5. I don't think these guys are just going to collide in the middle of the octagon and produce a stoppage within the first couple minutes. I think this is going to be more of a long, drawn-out affair.
Yeah. Well, you say that. So last time when Thiago Santos fought against Johnny Walker, We kind of expected some action or flashy moves being shown in that fight. We got nothing pretty much at all. But then we seen Walker come out and he got finished in round 1 or 2. So maybe this one goes short again too. So I think Thiago Santos might be eager to prove that he's more than just what he showed last fight, late last year. And I think I actually have a bet on Thiago Santos to win that fight. So I think I got him at 5-0 odds. That's why he's not included on this card as the actual outcome. I actually like Thiago Santos to actually win the fight. Probably not going to happen. But I like
Thiago
odds.
too. I follow his wife on Instagram. She's posting like really cute maternity photos with Thiago. Hopefully that translates to some performance.
There you go.
Now you went with McKinney. Hit or miss? I guess they never miss, huh?
Yeah, hit or miss. Terrence McKinney. I'm going to take the T-Rex on this one. I really liked what he showed 2 weeks ago. I know it's a fast turnaround. Drew Dober, I watched a few fights from him this past week too. He's got a nasty left hook. He's got some power. Well, he's got more accuracy on his power shots is kind of what I've seen. So he doesn't have the actual power to knock a guy out cold, but he'll wobble the guy and he'll keep hitting him and he'll keep hitting him. And when he's leaning in and he's throwing his strikes, he's going to hit too.
I took Brundage. I just did a quick Google. Someone on the internet said take Brundage. And I said, why not? Not quite a Bay pick, but pretty close.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking the same thing about Brundage. Someone told me to take him, and I was going to take him over McKinney, but I just kind of like McKinney, what he showed. I think he's going to try and wrestle out Dober. One thing that I've seen from Dober the past couple of fights there is that he lays on his back a lot. He just gets taken down. He doesn't get back up. And what I've seen from McKinney last 2 weeks ago in his round 1 submission is he just laid on top of the guy, wore him out, and then he just shouldered him into a choke out. The announcers didn't even think that he was in any pain, but Zayam still tapped out.
Sounds good. What fight are you looking forward to this week? Anything that you're really looking forward to watching?
I gotta see T-Rex, man. I gotta see Terrence McKinney. I gotta see if he's gonna burn me 2 times in 3 weeks here. He looks like one of the young guys that's coming out. The young folks on this card: Miranda Maverick, Terrence McKinney, and
Song
Yadong. And they're all going to be showing out, hopefully all going to be bringing me wins. But regardless, they're all entertaining fighters, and I hope to watch all of them 5-10 years from now too.
I want to see if Semmelsberger gets it done, and if not, I want to see how he fares up in a longer fight. I'm looking to see if Damon Jackson. I took a bit of a risk on Damon Jackson, went with that dog side. I want to see if he's that live dog. I want to see if he can put them skills to use. And I want some more TKO KOs. I think we got 1, maybe 2 last week. I want to see some people get knocked out. Brain damage,
time
baby.
For some violence. Come on.
Drain damage.
Yeah, we had a couple of subs last week. I think the over-under was only set to like 2 subs. We had 2 subs right off the hop. So we got Aspinall and Volkov next week, and we got Dan Hooker.
We got Alexander Volkov, Tom Aspinall. Will Volkov make it into England? That's the first question. And if so, who's going to win that fight? Volkov is, he's that heavyweight gatekeeper. He's got losses to Blades. He's got a loss to some other guys. He's got a loss to Cyril Gahn.
Yeah. Man, when you look at that, you look at his Volkov's record, 34-9, and he's taking on Aspinall 11-2. There might be a real big veteran difference here.
Arnold Allen fighting Dan Hooker. I thought Dan Hooker was skinny at 155. He's shuffling his way down to 145. I don't know what he cut out of the diet, man, but he's going to do it.
He's going to do it. Don't make him do it, man. He's going to do it.
Again, this is a phenomenon I like to point out. When you lose to a guy that's lost to the champ, you start to reconsider what your chances are at that weight division. And that's what's happened to Dan Hooker. He got knocked out by Mike Chandler. He got knocked out by the champion, Charlie Olives. So that's like 2 degrees of defeat on top of you in that division. So maybe just shuffle out.
Makes sense. Got like no ads this week. We got 1 Canadian. I'm really looking forward to this card too. It's going to be great to have on. Planning on having some people over on Saturday here. So I'm going to just force them to watch the fight. It's going to be great.
Sounds good. Let's get that airtime up. What time is this airing? We can put that in for everybody. So prelims are at 2 p.m. Mountain or 5:30 Newfoundland time. So that'd be 2 p.m. Ed time, 5:30 Shed time. Main card is at 8:30 Shed time, 5 p.m. Ed time. That's 8:30 Newfoundland, 5 o'clock Mountain.
Yeah, it's going to be a big card. 14 fights. I'm looking forward to everybody making weight tomorrow or having already made weight by the time you watch this, and none of our fights getting canceled, nobody losing out on visas, nobody catching the COVID, and watching 14 great fights on Saturday night. Let's go.
Yeah, fingers crossed we get every matchup onto the octagon for Saturday.
Until then, it's Shed to Ed, episode 6 coming at you right now.
Let's go.
Ankalaev and Santos. Let's go.